Welcome back, YouTube. So today we're going to be discussing some macro events, and we're going to look at some of the pretty much a lot of the new information that's come out from like the White House and some of the responses that's also been given by Putin in Russia. And the reason I titled this video "Gas Prices to the Moon" is because more than likely we are going to see higher gas prices. We've seen a lot of penny stocks in the energy sector rally over the last few days. Exxon hit roughly around $92 today. So we're seeing the effect of the market have a lot of fear and uncertainty in there, but the energy sector is literally, pretty much being like a hedge right now. And typically, if you have uncertainty in the market, or if you have a lot of red in the market, and then you see something green, people will typically, especially something like energy, which is a commodity anyway, typically people will start to hedge with that if that seems to be something that's going to be able to be green and print money for the foreseeable future. So today we saw the pretty much the ban of imports from Russia by Biden, which I've seen reports that we get roughly up to 10% of our oil from, or our oil imports from Russia. And typically that's not a lot, but again, when you already have oil, which is average, pretty much the price of gas has averaged around a 72 cents increase over the last month, and then you go ahead and you reduce the overall supply, typically this will result in, how supply and demand works, typically that you can expect this to have an additional increase in price as well. In addition to this, we've seen a lot of businesses double down today as far as for putting the squeeze on Russia by pulling out some of their companies like McDonald's, Starbucks, some luxury car companies, even Coca-Cola, Pepsi. A lot of them, and McDonald's, I do want to point this out, they have agreed to continue supporting their workers, but they closed a little over 800 of their restaurants there. The ruble continues to fall. It's roughly around 120 per dollar. Inflation has estimates up to around 40% in Russia. So definitely the people there are going to start feeling the squeeze soon, if they are not already, which I'm sure they are. All in all, what does this do for our market? Well, basically, it causes more panic and uncertainty because pretty much as the companies and everyone decides to take sides, because we saw what China did with Union Pay for Russia, and then we see a lot of American businesses or American-based businesses pulling out and putting like restrictions and stuff like that on their dealings with Russia. Typically, this is going to add mass uncertainty to the market, which is something that we've had for the last few months anyway. And now we're coupling this with some of the other issues that we have here at home. And the issues we have at home are, of course, we have our Fed meeting on the 16th and our rate hikes. And then we also have, this is still the last month, as we know of it, as the last month of QE, which pretty much means no more money printing. So, and then we also saw yesterday, the NASDAQ hit a 21% decline from its all-time high, signaling a bear market. As I said last month, March was going to be very interesting, and we are not 2 weeks in, and it has surely shown to be just that. I do believe over the next few weeks, things are going to intensify, especially as we get our CPI reports this week, which are going to signal higher inflation, which I'm certain is going to signal higher inflation for last month. And then, of course, we're having the immediate blowbacks of the no more money injection to our economy and the rate hikes. This is prior to any of them actually being implemented, and we're already seeing mass corrections. I do want to take this time to point out that a lot of people over the last few months were saying that the fear and the panic and the rate hikes and all that kind of stuff were baked into the market. And I do want to point this out because the entire time I was saying, no, it wasn't. And that's typically because you are not going to have a market rally several 100%, hundreds, thousands of points, and then an 8% or 6% correction is now baked in fear. That is not how it works, especially when we know that the market has been getting these injections for well over a year now, and most of that money is in fact not retail money. We can see further restrictions and rebalancing of portfolios over the next few weeks, especially as fear or situations grow and intensify. If you guys watch my video of stocks I never sell from 2020, Exxon was one of them. I was fortunate enough to get in. I believe my first entry was around like 38 bucks or so. And that was literally one of the, energy, travel, commodities. I talk about gold and silver and stuff as well. In addition to like the tech sector, I consider those like some of my foundational stocks. those are some of the ones that are going to hedge me when there's mass uncertainty and there's the world is upside down, things like that. So Exxon and energy, stuff like that. Exxon has religiously not missed a dividend. It is a very powerful company here, regardless of the economy. So I've always been a fan of Exxon. And again, today we peaked roughly over $92. And trust and believe, as long as there is a energy crisis and we are pretty much uncertain as far as where we're going to expand our energy to make up for some of the supply restraints that we're having because we're reducing our imports, Exxon is going to benefit greatly. Even if you look at ETFs and look at how they're weighted, you'll see that Exxon makes up a large portion of most of the energy sector ETFs, Exxon and Chevron, to be exact. I do believe everyone should have exposure to energy, regardless of your portfolio, just because it is such an important part of everyone's lives. It's an important part of the world in general. So I do believe everyone should have exposure to those different businesses. And it's rare that I advertise different brokerages and stuff like that, but I'm going to put the link to 2 different brokerages in the description section so that, and both of them are offering several, like 5 to like 10 stocks when you deposit like any amount. And typically this will be an opportunity for you to deposit something like $1 and be able to get those stocks, sell them, and then reinvest them. I'm not telling you to invest in energy. You do whatever you want, but this will be an opportunity for you to flip those stocks and take the opportunity here to spread out your exposure, especially since now we have massive fear and uncertainty in the market. That's both Webull and Mumu. I'll probably put a link up here on the screen, but I'll have both of the links in the description section for you. This is something we're going to have to follow, but I do want to conclude here that Putin has given roughly around 48 hours to pretty much put a decree out on exports he's going to ban from certain countries. And let's not forget, Russia does export a lot of things, including like metals, wheat, corn, in addition to some of the fossil fuels. So this is going to, the next few weeks for sure are going to be really, really interesting because maybe not so much us, but Europe is going to see dramatic increases in the prices of fuel and now possibly even in the prices of food. So we're going to just have to monitor this over the next few days, of course. But again, this is going to affect them a lot more so than us that are here in the States. And you're going to see a lot of these penny stocks and stuff like that are pumping recently just because of the energy sector. And just always know that as quickly as things come up, they do come down as well. So you remember, you don't necessarily have to make money when you buy this stock, or pretty much speculation that the pump is going to continue going up. I just want to put this out there. It's possible, especially if something looks like a pump and dump, it's possible to make money with puts as well. Let me know what you think about Biden's ban on oil imports in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the video. And don't forget to check out BlockFi as well. I have another link in the description where if you open an account with them, you can get up to $250 and some of your favorite crypto, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. Until next time.